My friends, manifestation is not a process of effort, but of realization. You do not struggle to create your desires. You allow them to be by aligning with the truth that they are already yours. What I tell you now is not philosophy, but law. And if you grasp it, you will never struggle again. Consciousness is the only reality. And until you grasp this fundamental truth, you will remain enslaved by the illusion of external circumstances. Everything you experience in life, every success, every failure, every joy, and every sorrow is not happening to you. It is happening through you. Your world is a mirror faithfully reflecting back the assumptions you hold about yourself and the universe. To change what you see in the mirror, you must first change the beliefs and assumptions that shape your consciousness. There is no force outside of you that determines your fate. The only power that exists is within, and it is your own consciousness that is shaping the conditions of your life at every moment. Most people move through life unaware of this truth. They believe in luck, fate, or circumstances beyond their control. They see themselves as victims of a world that acts upon them, never realizing that they are, in fact, the creators of it all. The moment you awaken to the understanding that consciousness is primary, you shift from being a passive observer to an active creator. You no longer beg for change, you become it. You do not seek fulfillment in the world, you bring fulfillment into it by aligning your inner state with the reality you wish to experience. The world cannot help but conform to the blueprint of your inner world. You might wonder why some people seem to struggle endlessly while others manifest abundance effortlessly. The answer is simple. The latter have mastered their inner conversations. They understand that what they habitually think, feel, and believe about themselves determines the conditions of their lives. If you constantly affirm lack, limitation, and struggle, your world must reflect it. If, however, you assume wealth, love, and success as your reality, life will reorganize itself to match your new assumptions. It is not magic, it is law. The moment you truly accept that consciousness is the only reality, you begin to take responsibility for everything in your life. No longer can you blame others, external circumstances, or the past. You realize that everything, your relationships, finances, health, and opportunities, is a projection of your state of being. You cannot hold on to victimhood and expect to manifest power. You cannot entertain doubt and simultaneously create miracles. You must choose at every moment the reality you wish to embody. To master this principle, you must become a vigilant observer of your own mind. Pay attention to what you are habitually thinking, feeling, and assuming. Every thought is a seed, and every assumption is a command to the subconscious mind. The subconscious does not argue or question, it simply accepts and executes whatever you persistently believe. The person who assumes failure will encounter obstacles at every turn. The person who assumes success will see doors open effortlessly. It is not that one is luckier than the other, it is that one is conscious of their power while the other is not. Your task is to live from the assumption that what you desire is already yours. This does not mean mere wishful thinking. It means entering into the state of the wish fulfilled so completely that it becomes your natural dwelling place. You must refuse to entertain doubts, fears, or contrary appearances. If the outer world does not yet reflect your assumption, do not waver. Reality is not fixed. It is fluid, shaped by your consciousness. Persist, and the world will shift accordingly. There is no limitation except that which you accept. There is no delay except that which you impose through doubt and hesitation. If you believe in struggle, struggle will be your experience. If you believe in ease, ease will define your path. Consciousness is the only reality, and it is yours to command. Assume wisely, believe unwaveringly, and watch as the world bends to reflect your inner certainty. Your feeling state is the key to manifestation. It is not enough to merely think about what you desire, to visualize it, or to speak affirmations. None of these techniques will be effective if they are not accompanied by the corresponding feeling. Your subconscious mind does not respond to words or images alone. it responds to the feeling behind them. Earn feeling behind your feeling behind. The reason most people fail in their manifestations is that they are trying to bring about external change without first altering their internal state. They say the right words, they imagine the right scenarios, but deep down, they still feel the absence of what they seek. As long as this feeling persists, their world will continue to mirror lack, delay, and frustration. Every experience you have in life is shaped by the feeling you hold most dominantly. This is the law of assumption in action. If you wake up every morning feeling anxious, uncertain, or unworthy, it does not matter how many affirmations you repeat or how detailed your vision board is, your subconscious is still dwelling in a state of fear and doubt. And because the subconscious mind always externalizes the dominant feeling state, your world will continue to reflect anxiety, uncertainty, and struggle. On the other hand, if you cultivate the feeling of already having what you desire, if you persist in that feeling despite what your senses tell you, your external reality must eventually conform. Feeling is the secret because it is the bridge between the unseen world of consciousness and the tangible world of form. This is why Neville Goddard taught that you must assume the feeling of the wish fulfilled. It is not enough to want something, you must feel as though you already have it. When you enter into this state, you send a command to the universe, an unshakable decree that what you desire is already yours. The moment you genuinely feel it, you have impressed it upon the subconscious, and the subconscious, which never questions or argues, immediately begins to reshape your world to match the feeling you have assumed. Most people misunderstand the process of manifestation because they believe that their desires will make them feel a certain way once they are achieved. They believe they will feel secure once they have money, that they will feel loved once they have a relationship, or that they will feel joyful once they achieve success. But this is backward thinking. The reality is that you must first feel secure before money arrives, you must feel loved before the relationship manifests, and you must feel joyful before success materializes. The external world is a reflection of your internal state, not the other way around. If you wait for circumstances to change before you allow yourself to feel the way you desire, you will always be at the mercy of the world, never realizing that it is your feeling state that determines what the world reflects back to you. To manifest effectively, you must train yourself to live in the feeling of your desire as if it were already fulfilled. This requires discipline. It requires vigilance over your thoughts and emotions. It requires a deep trust that your assumption, once felt, is as real as anything you can touch or see. The key is consistency. Many people experience glimpses of this feeling, but quickly revert to their habitual states of doubt and fear. They allow the outer world to dictate their emotions instead of using their emotions to shape the outer world. The ones who succeed in manifestation are those who persist in the feeling of the wish fulfilled, regardless of appearances. They refuse to be swayed by temporary setbacks or delays. They know that their feeling state is the cause, and the outer world is merely the effect. Once you understand that feeling is the language of creation, you will begin to master the art of manifestation. You will stop looking outside of yourself for validation, and you will no longer be trapped in cycles of longing and disappointment. Instead, you will cultivate the inner state of fulfillment, knowing that as you sustain that feeling, your world must eventually reflect it. This is the law. It cannot fail. Assume the feeling of your wish fulfilled and let reality rearrange itself to match your assumption. To manifest anything, you must live in the end. This means assuming the state of already having what you desire rather than waiting for external conditions to change before you feel fulfilled. The greatest mistake people make in manifestation is thinking of their desires instead of thinking from them. When you think of something, you place it outside of yourself as something separate from you, something you must attain. But when you think from your desire, you merge with it, embodying the feeling of already having it. This is the secret to bringing it into your reality. When you live in the end, you act as if your wish is already fulfilled, not through forced actions or pretending, but through a deep, unwavering conviction that it is done. You think, feel, and move through life from the perspective of the person who already possesses what they seek. You do not concern yourself with how it will come to pass, for that is not your work. Your only task is to remain faithful to the state of the wish fulfilled. The moment you fully accept this state as real, the bridge of incidents leading to its manifestation will unfold naturally, often in ways you could never have predicted. Many people struggle with this concept because their senses deceive them. They look at the world around them and see lack, limitation, and delay. They react to appearances instead of recognizing that reality is fluid, constantly shaped by consciousness. If you judge by the evidence of the senses, you will always remain stuck in your current circumstances. But if you dare to persist in the unseen reality of your assumption, the outer world must eventually conform. This is not wishful thinking, it is law. The universe cannot help but reflect back to you the state you consistently occupy. Living in the end means no longer wishing, hoping, or waiting. When you assume that your desire is already yours, you do not seek it, you simply know it is done. You walk through life with the quiet confidence of someone who has already received their blessing. There is no desperation, no longing, no struggle. Instead, there is peace, certainty, and gratitude. This state of mind is magnetic. It draws to you the conditions, people, and opportunities necessary to make your assumption a physical reality. Consider how you would feel if your desire were already fulfilled. How would you think? How would you carry yourself? How would you speak and move through life? Identify those feelings and embody them now. If you want wealth, assume the feeling of financial security. If you seek love, embody the feeling of being deeply cherished. If you desire success, carry yourself with the quiet assurance of one who already thrives. The moment you make this shift, the universe begins arranging the details to match your inner state. This requires discipline, for the mind will try to revert to old patterns of doubt and fear. You must be vigilant, refusing to entertain any thought that contradicts your assumption. Persist in your new state regardless of appearances. Do not look for signs or question when or how your desire will manifest. If you plant a seed, you do not dig it up every day to check if it is growing. You trust the process, knowing that what has been planted will bloom in due time. Your assumption is the seed, and your unwavering faith is the soil in which it grows. As you continue to live in the end, you will notice shifts in your realities. Small changes will begin to appear, confirming that your assumption is taking root. Synchronicities will emerge, doors will open effortlessly, and what once seemed impossible will become inevitable. But none of this will surprise you, for you have already lived it in your mind. You knew it was done before the world reflected it, and that is the power of living in the end. Time is an illusion when it comes to manifestation. What appears as delay is merely a reflection of your own internal resistance, your doubts, and your inability to fully align with your desire. The moment you accept that time is not a factor, that creation is finished, the moment you assume it, you will begin to manifest with greater speed and ease. Most people believe they have to wait for things to unfold, that desires take time to materialize. But this belief alone creates delay. What you assume to be true will always prove itself in your reality. If you believe things take years to manifest, they will. If you believe things can happen instantly, they will. Your assumptions about time dictate how quickly or slowly your manifestations appear. Faith collapses time. Faith is the knowing that your desire is already yours, even if your physical senses do not yet confirm it. Faith does not waver, does not doubt, and does not check for results. It rests in the absolute certainty that what has been assumed must come to pass. When you move in faith, you step out of the limitations of time and into the realm where all things are already done. The universe has no concept of time. It only responds to your state of being. If you are in a state of waiting, you will always be waiting. If you are in a state of already having, you will receive. This is why some people manifest instantly while others struggle for years. It has nothing to do with external circumstances and everything to do with the state they persist in. Your belief in time is one of the biggest obstacles to rapid manifestation. You must detach from the idea that things take a certain amount of time to unfold. The only reason time exists in your process is because you have conditioned yourself to believe in it. Your subconscious mind does not understand the difference between past, present, or future. It only responds to what you feel in the now. When you assume a desire, you must feel that it is already present, not something you are moving toward. The moment you fully embody the state of the wish fulfilled, time bends, and what once seemed distant becomes immediate. Doubt, worry, and impatience are the enemies of instant manifestation. The more you question when and how your desire will come, the more you push it away. Every time you check for results, you reinforce the idea that it is not yet done. This contradicts the state of having and keeps you locked in a cycle of waiting. You must train yourself to remain steadfast in the feeling of your desire being real, regardless of what your senses show you. Reality is a reflection of consciousness. When your consciousness shifts, reality must follow. But if you keep shifting back and forth between faith and doubt, you create delay. Manifestation does not take time, it takes alignment. The moment you are fully aligned with your desire, it is yours. There is no gap between assumption and fulfillment except the one you create with doubt. Those who manifest quickly do so because they have mastered the art of unwavering faith. They do not entertain thoughts of when or how. They assume it is done and move through life as if they already have it. And because they do, reality mirrors their assumption. To master this, you must let go of your conditioning around time. Stop placing deadlines on your desires. Stop looking at external circumstances to determine what is possible. Assume it is done now. Live in that assumption and trust the process. Faith is the bridge between the unseen